and she needs to know all three stories at the same time that she's thinking about and writing about these brands. So if she gets the whole picture first, it makes it so that she knows how to create the communications for all three brands, so that they drive people into each. They make the offer look attractive, all of the brands. If we were to say, let's just, since we don't know what the offer is for passion projects for sure, right? We don't know that, and I don't even want to think about it because it's not going to come to us today. But I do know we can get her started on this gig by having her just know the story, right? So what I was sharing with you, and just help me here, let's just share the story of passion projects. I believe, passion projects, even though it started on a particular date, April 4th, 2017, we'll tell her the story, soon enough. I believe passion projects was the way, really how I was living my life. I was a corporate recruiter. I created the Talking Resume. I created the executive network firm. I trained headhunting firms. All the different things that I've done, All Addictions Anonymous, the school programs, setting up All Addictions Anonymous, Hope for the Soul Wellness, not for profit for you. All these things were passion projects for me. Getting booked to book others, like when I was booking people and helping addicts. These were passion projects. So it's kind of like the story of the passion project is this guy, right? And all these different passion projects that you get to leverage all of my passion projects into your passion project corporation that I incorporated for you on April 27th. And we'll tell about the significance of that anniversary. And it's just a corporation that's dormant, that's waiting for you when you're out of your bankruptcy. There it is. I registered it this April 27th, right? The anniversary of when you won that major award, Waterfront Awards. So this is the story. Passion projects is all these little different things that Scotty did. When I, would take on a client, as a headhunter, they were my passion project, this client or this person who needed a job and they were really marketable, and I would find them a job, right? And everything's been passion projects. And then what happened is it started to become more official, right? The passion project's journey just before the brand was created, because the brand was created on April 4th, 2017. The first time you ever told me you wanted to end your life, and I just listened to you. And then out of that conversation, the idea came to me through the vortex of just being present to you to create the first multi-camera Facebook live streaming platform ever. And it, and not knowing how to do it, but that it was possible. And yeah, it was possible. The technology was there, and I was known as the first guy in Canada to do it with this brand called Passion Projects TV for you, which we'll tell the story about that later. Right, that's an exciting story. I'm just giving her the bigger picture of the brand story and without all the details, just so she sees all these different things that I created were starting really in April 4th. But see, before the multi-camera streaming, what else were passion projects? What was the relationship between Scott and Samina? Samina was volunteering for my school kids program, right? Volunteered for the school programs. You were an co-executive director. You were an executive director for All Addictions Anonymous, my addiction-free youth. You were doing all that while you were a social worker and grief counselor. And as a social worker and grief counselor, you're volunteering in the weekends or whatever. And then other things started to happen, right? And in particular, I was telling you about how ultimately you were my passion project before you knew it. And you'll talk about the brand. This is what you'll talk about in a minute, Samina, because I'm going to leave it out. You're going to bring us back to Hope for the Soul and mission marketing, because where that fits in. Make sure I don't forget that in this passion project story. I was advising you while you were volunteer, and I promised you that, your company that you work for, the charity, the hospice, was breaking the law. And they probably just didn't know it because a charity wouldn't do that. They don't know the law. And so you could tell the story later to her, details, when I give you a chance to speak. I'm just going to speak my download, and you fill in the blanks and say whatever you want to say. And she'll get the spirit of it all. And then we'll get details on the offer later. But this is the corporation. This is the real business, right? The shell that'll be the business for all your businesses. It's why when I had you get Kartra, right, I set it up for you as passion projects. The main domain inside of Kartra, which is the center host for all your business, is passion projects. Because that day when you said to me that you wanted to end your life, April 4th, 2017, I mean, the name Passion Projects TV came to me after I come up with the idea of multi-streaming. It was like, I don't know which came first. All I knew is that was it. You are my passion project full-time right now. I do 12-step work every day. That means free work every day. And I've just now decided that in my mind, I'm, you know, instead of working with a different addict every day and making that my purpose, it's just like, I'm working with you to take responsibility for how you trusting me caused you to basically lose your career as a social worker and working at this place. In the end, that's what happened. And you could fill in the blanks with her when I say it's your turn to speak, right? And then, but it was a joy. It wasn't like, oh, I got to make amends. It was just like, I got to do 12-step work anyway. And if she didn't trust me, I wouldn't have stood up to the board and this wouldn't have happened. So you just became my passion project. And it was fun. And like in that first year, you could talk about all the things that got created then, right? For sure. I want to let you speak about that. All the different things that got created that were now all passion projects of yours. So what I'm saying is passion projects is something that Scott founded. It's a like, you tell the story of all the things I've been doing as an entrepreneur for 30 years. I've been self-employed, and every client is a passion project. Every project I do is a passion project, you know, and you're a passion project, and Anne Marie's a passion project. And, you know, it's just that's how I look at it. These people, these human beings are passion projects. And then all these brands that came out of it that were, it's like passion projects is truly yours though, Samita. I'm still the turnaround guy, turnaround.tv. But truly, that was the brand. Like, man, like we kicked that out of the park. You had $4,000 earned. And let me just let you speak now about all the passion projects that occurred, you know, that I created for you. And I think one of them was called Hope for the Soul. One was called Mission Marketing. One was called Hope and Happiness Wellness, that not-for-profit I founded for you. Got Sarah to be a director on it. Got my friends to be on the board with you. Like, talk about all the passion projects now from your perspective, which is only the perspective of Shirley, the membership sites, the social sharing, the whole freaking journey we've been on since April 4th, 2017, speaking about all the different launches you did of ideas that I came up with consulting with you, and you launched them all on video, messy, whatever, but they all were successful launches. I want you to talk about them all, including the ones where we did a private membership site, called it this for Shirley. Tell Jackie Lee everything that you want to say about the word passion projects and what it means to you, you know, knowing the significance of what it is to you. Hope for the Soul. What was Hope for the Soul? What was Mission Marketing, maybe?